Hello and welcome, I'm Johan Castell and you're watching We on Wings. Today we cover the joyful Onam festival in Kerala. The Mornington Peninsula Hot Springs in Australia, the hunt for the Loch Ness monster in Scotland, and classic cars events that attract enthusiasts worldwide. Let's begin. In southern India's Kerala state, the end of harvest season is usually a good reason to celebrate. This year's Onam festival was just celebrated in the state. Let us show you the highlights of the event. When it comes to the best experiences in India, the Lonely Planet guidebook lists Onam celebrations in the top 5 events in the country. Celebrated in August or September in Kerala, this 10-day-long harvest festival is the state's largest cultural celebration and experience. All of Kerala comes together to celebrate the golden age of the mythical King Mahabali with dancing and boat races that bring even the smallest villages out of their slumber with upbeat revelry. The dates for the festival vary, and this year the festival started on August 20th. Onam is an excellent opportunity to spend time with family, relatives and close friends. The state's people celebrate wholeheartedly by participating in various cultural activities like dance competitions, music competitions and fierce boat races in huge snake boats operated by crowded teams of fit rowers. The tradition of building these vast long boats dates back around 8 centuries to feudal kingdom wars. Today they are used during the Onam season for a Vallam Kali or snake boat race. This is a major tourist attraction in Kerala and a spectacular sight to behold if you ever get to witness this event in person. Each boat is staffed with 64 or 128 paddlers who fervently paddle as if their life depended on it. The Nehru Trophy boat race is very popular in Punamada Lake near Alapuzha in Kerala. The annual event was inaugurated by India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, in 1952, and the winner was awarded the trophy in his name. One delectable part of Onam is called Sadhya. This traditional Kerala feast is an integral part of the festival and can include more than 60 dishes. This enticing spread of curries includes fried vegetables, pickles and desserts and is usually served on a large green banana leaf and eaten without cutlery. Payasam is a traditional sweet dish made with milk, sugar and rice and is often the highlight for many revelers. Another part of the Onam festivities is the Pokalam, or flower designs made as floral carpets laid in the courtyards of houses, signaling Onam's arrival during the ritual's season. Onam is also the harvest festival that takes place after the rainy season. Onam is celebrated as the national festival of Kerala and Malayalis worldwide, irrespective of caste or religion. And to bring unity to the community, a global Pokalam competition was organized for people to share pictures of flower designs online. Have you ever visited a geothermal bath for its healing properties? Many health fanatics worldwide swear by its healing benefits. Next up, we visit one such facility in Australia's Victoria state. Melbourne, the capital city of Victoria. This Australian metropolis is considered to be one of the world's most livable cities. It has amazing restaurants, sports venues, and a packed cultural calendar. This city truly has something good in store for everyone. But this time around, I'm not here to explore the city. A relaxing day is what I have on my mind. So I'm off to the Peninsula Hot Springs. The spa is located 100 kilometers from the city. The drive takes a little over an hour, and before you know it, you're traveling through the scenic Victorian countryside. Hot springs are a natural geographical feature that have fascinated people for centuries. In some parts of the world, even monkeys can be found soaking in the delightful warmth of these healing pools. These geothermal springs can be found all over the world, including Australia. The story of this particular facility starts in 1992, when its CEO and co-founder Charles Davidson stumbled across some hot springs while living in Japan. So I've come to Peninsula Hot Springs and I'm gonna go for an ice plunge. I just need to change really fast because we're running a bit late. This facility is enormous, much larger than I expected. Around 350 people work at the site, and there is a range of activities that visitors can try out. I'm being brave and opting for an intense sounding experience called Fire and Ice. The adventure begins in a dry sauna where I warm up before getting into a moderately cold pool set to around 19 to 20 degrees Celsius. At this point, I'm thinking this pool is not too bad, and it doesn't seem as if this experience will be all that challenging. I couldn't have been more wrong. The next part involves dynamic movements in the sauna to really get the blood flowing before the most extreme part of the activity. This part is no child's play, and there's a reason why this small pool is kept under lock and key to prevent people from entering unsupervised. The final leg involves getting into a pool nearly 2 meters deep that is kept at a freezing 4 degrees Celsius. The cold water feels like needles all around my body, unlike anything I have ever felt before.
What we'll do is I'm going to give you a 10-second countdown. If you wish, you can do a head dunk at the very end. It is quite invigorating, but you need to just listen to your body. Woo!
After a few minutes in this ice-cold water, I have had enough, and I can feel my jaw shivering. After leaving the pool, it takes me a while to get back to normal, and as I leave, I bump into Bharat Mishra, the facility's co-owner.
What a facility! I just had a fire and ice plunge.
Listen,
wow.
this is a trick that we have.
Yeah.
Before anybody interview me, I send him to fire and ice. When I meet them, they're so open and flowing. It's the best conversation you can have.
Bharat Mishra is a co-owner and founder of Organic India and joined Davidson in 2014.
We love to offer everything that is growing here in the restaurant. It's a big fulfillment to have farm to plate reality.
Yeah, that is something that is quite nice, and that is something that people, I think, have started recognizing this term, farm to plate, right?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm sure a lot of Indians would have heard of what you've accomplished in India with Organic India, right? It was not a natural progression to start doing something like this here?
Yes, I would say that it's a natural evolution of my own passion in the world, and that the business venture as an entrepreneur that I'm part of. Organic India has been a beautiful embodiment of a purpose-driven company that served the earth and farmers and created an organic revolution in India. PHS is an amazing space of transformation.
Talking about the minerals, there's so many benefits to this. What are some of the big ones that people might not be aware of?
We have a very balanced compositions of mineral that come from so deep: magnesium, potassium, chloride, the boron, bicarbonate. Water which are rich in natural mineral is a way to nurture our bodies. Most people have no access to a lot of the essential minerals, and magnesium is one of the greatest deficiency, which is responsible for a lot of ailments, not only on the physical level, blood pressure, skin, bone and muscles, good sleep. We have great passion in PHS to for holistic wellness. So it's not just the physical body, it's very much like the human being as a whole. Bathing and immersing yourself and connecting to nature impact us in a very complete way. And one of our core principles is that we never miss an occasion for celebration.
Yeah, that's a good policy.
Right?
Should we have a look at the garden?
I love to. So we have some fruits, and it's all organic, biodynamic. The usage of resources, and obviously we have abundance of water, so this is not a big concern here.
Bharat tells me all about the vegetables and fruits they grow here in the garden and tells me I must try out their restaurant. After the extreme fire and ice experience, I figure a warm meal will do me some good. And then it's time to head back home. Just figuring my way out of this facility requires a map with detailed instructions. That's how big it is. Truly worth a visit. The hunt for the legendary Loch Ness monster in Scotland recently got a new lease of life when a group of enthusiasts gathered for an organized search party. Let's look at what went down. If you were to visit Scotland, heading to the Highlands is a must. The largest city and cultural capital of the Scottish Highlands is Inverness. This is also the jump-off point for visiting Loch Ness to scout for the legendary Loch Ness monster, a top tourist attraction in Scotland. "14 kilometers from Inverness lies the Loch Ness Centre and Exhibition, along the shores of the largest lake by volume in the United Kingdom. Last weekend, many enthusiasts gathered here to participate in the largest search for Nessie in modern times.
So we're talking the biggest surface watch of Loch Ness that's happened in 50 years. There are 17 different spotting locations around the loch at the moment, and in-person volunteers have taken up their places there to keep all eyes on the loch. In the meantime, there have been boats, deep scan cruises, running between 10 AM and they're going to stop at 6 PM tonight, and they're using sonar technology as well as hydrophones in order to monitor the sounds as well as the shapes at the bottom of the loch.
Individuals physically present at the location and engaged through a live stream united in pursuing the legendary monster. Among them, approximately 100 volunteers converged in the Scottish Highlands to meticulously scan the enigmatic waters of the lake. Concurrently, nearly 300 participants enlisted to actively observe a real-time digital broadcast of the exploration. The event attracted curious visitors from near and far who came to try to unravel the lake's mysteries.
I come from France, so just to see the loch, because since I'm young I watch like some documentaries about the Loch Ness, and I'm really interested about that, and yeah, so I'm in between, so I believe of the legends, but in the same time not really.
I am taking part in the search. We have come all this way. I've been hunting Nessie for 9 years. This will be my 7th tour on the loch. My first official hunt.
I love the paranormal. I go on ghost tours. You know, I go track down Bigfoot, Loch Ness. I love all of it. So I'm here for the biggest Loch Ness hunting event in the last 50 years.
This online endeavor was orchestrated by the Drumnadrochit Loch Ness Centre in collaboration with a dedicated research squad named Loch Ness Exploration. The participants employed various methodologies to unravel the mystery. Drones equipped with infrared cameras took flight over Loch Ness, capturing footage with the potential to reveal hidden secrets. In addition, a hydrophone was deployed to detect submerged auditory cues, further enhancing the scope of the investigation. So, how did the latest hunt fare? According to volunteer Alan McKenna, there seemed to be unexplained sounds coming from the depths of the lake.
Did hear something. We heard 4 distinctive whoops. I don't know if it's the best way I can describe it to you. We all heard it. It wasn't just me, thank goodness. It was on the speaker system. The recorder was on, and it wasn't plugged in, and that was my fault because I tested that equipment before I came on the boat, so I knew it was working, so I didn't turn it on. So when I know it's classic.
This intriguing mystery has fascinated countless people for decades. Notably, in 2019, scientific experts scrutinized DNA traces to eliminate the likelihood of creatures such as dinosaurs inhabiting the area. The comprehensive examination led to the hypothesis that the fabled Loch Ness monster might conceivably be a colossal eel. But what do the visitors at the event think the monster might be?
We've talked to a lot of townspeople. I've heard a lot of different theories. I have my own theory. It's a bit out there, so I won't say it.
Well, you know, in Florida, we see a lot of large mammals and amphibians that sneak in from oceans and their lakes and rivers all the time. It's not a big deal over there. You'll see manatees, dolphins, small whales come into lakes and rivers that sneak in through oceans all the time. So I think it's just a large mammal or a large amphibian, some sort of like manatee situation or a big eel. Because it does connect to the ocean, and they just discovered a bunch of underwater caves. So probably just a big old animal.
Well, we shall say that there are several cults on the loch, as well as Aleister Crowley, who brought Satanism to Europe, that it could be a demonic entity from another portal.
After the extensive search in Loch Ness, there is still no sign of the legendary beast that has captivated the world's imagination.
Most of us can appreciate the look of a classic car cruising down the road, and some of us might even stare to get a good look. But why do people keep and collect vintage vehicles? We visit classic car meetups in Europe to find out more.
Have you ever turned your head around to see a classic car driving down the street? Chances are that, like most of us, seeing a fancy, polished vehicle over 30 years old can easily make your head turn. Around the world, collectors keep and maintain the legacy of the automobile world's different creations. But why do people collect vintage cars?
It's a little bit about our youth. It's about recapturing our youth. And that's why we often buy cars from our youth time. We like the cars we saw driving by when we were 15 or 16 years old.
Last month, the 16th edition of the Vintage Vehicles Crossing took place in Paris, with passionate enthusiasts striving to preserve their cherished historical legacy. Nearly 1,000 vehicles, each surpassing the age of 30 years old, enthusiastically participated in the 16th Traversée de Paris Estival, a remarkable event orchestrated by the Vincennes and Anciens Association. This captivating spectacle saw a diverse array of 2- and 4-wheeled classic automobiles and motorcycles traversing various iconic Parisian squares. Some of the cars are more than a century old and are primarily kept in museums and private collections. But every once in a while, the public can get a chance to see these rare vehicles on the road, but moving slowly.
It's a Dadio Bouton from 1930 with 9 horsepower, which for the first time was enormous and extraordinary. It normally runs at an average of 45 kilometers an hour, but we never go over 20 to 30. It comes from the collection of the town of Bouton, and our aim is to run our cars as often as possible so that the public can see them and not just in a museum.
The journey commenced at the Château de Vincennes and culminated at the illustrious Observatory de Meudon, forming a nostalgic trip through time and space. So, what vehicle can you use if you would like to participate in an event like this?
The only condition is to have a vehicle that is more than 30 years old. So it could be a car, it could be a two-wheeler, it could be a three-wheeler, it could be a truck, it could be a tractor. There are about 50 tractors. It could be old buses, bicycles, anything over 30 years old.
Not only did vintage vehicle owners gather this summer in France. In Switzerland too, thousands of enthusiasts and owners met up in Delémont, Switzerland for the 24th World Meeting of 2CV Friends. People from all over Europe came to buy and sell cars, meet friends, or enjoy the festive atmosphere dedicated to this classic car at the event. The Citroën 2CV was produced from 1948 to 1990 and still has thousands of proud owners and enthusiasts.
I think the magic of the 2CV, it's iconically French. It's the perfect design, but it's so simple, it's so easy to maintain, it's so easy to understand. And it's almost adopted as a member of the family into the household, and it becomes part of the way of life. And so many people, particularly here in France, they'll remember their parents had one or their grandparents had one, and now the next generation are getting them and loving them and coming to meetings like this in them. And it's a way of life. It's not just a car. It's fantastic. We love them.
Over to one of the most unexpected places to find vintage cars in excellent condition. A blue Armstrong Siddeley Hurricane would catch your eye if you saw one anywhere, but certainly so in the Gaza Strip. The car has been restored by mechanic and vintage car enthusiast Munir Al-Shandi.
Since I used to repair vintage cars in the Emirates, I had this passion to own this Mercedes when I returned to Gaza. So I restored one and I kept working on my skills. Now I buy car bodies which are basically the originals, but as you know, old cars come in bad conditions. I have to restore them, so they are returned back to their original elegance and true form.
Munir also has a beautiful beige Mercedes-Benz Gazelle from 1929. Relying on friends to procure some parts and bring them over the border from Egypt, they took 8 months to arrive, and the restoration work took an entire year. Munir's story shows that the joy of driving a classic can overcome incredible obstacles if you have the drive.
That's all we have for you on the show this week, but we'll return again next weekend. For now, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. See you next time. Goodbye.